Hey, what's up guys, how's it going? Recently my Garmin 5X Plus, my Fenix 5X Plus has been having some troubles because sometimes this watch will automatically shut off for no reason. It will shut off as soon as I get a notification, or it will shut off when I go to sleep and I wake up and the screen will be 100% off. And when I try to press on the buttons, it will not turn on or anything until I officially press on the button to turn on the watch and it actually turns on. I've basically tried every basic step trying to fix this problem. I tried to factory reset the watch, meaning that I would erase everything on the watch and start from brand new, but doing that would not work at all. I also tried that fancy reset that you have to press some of the buttons for like 5 seconds and 10 seconds, and it will do like a master reset type of solution, but that didn't work either for this watch. So recently when I would charge the watch to 100%, within a couple days it would drain all the way down to 50% or less, and that gave me the hint that maybe it's the battery and not actually the watch. So today I'm going to replace the battery on this watch and see if that's actually the problem, why this watch is turning off very randomly. So I went on eBay and I bought this battery for the Fenix 5X Plus. This battery is for the Fenix 5X, 5X Plus, and the 5X running. So when you get the box here, you are gonna get the battery inside of a plastic bag. As you can see on the back of the battery, you do have the part number, which is 3610098. So hopefully this battery will be good enough to replace. I couldn't find this battery online. This is one of the only sellers I saw it from. So today I'm going to show you guys how to replace the battery on your 5X, on your Fenix 5X Plus. So now the first thing you want to do is you want to turn off the watch here. So you want to press on the light button. Then you want to press OK. Now from here, once the watch is 100% off, now you could start by replacing the battery. So all you basically need is 2 bits to remove the front screws of the watch and some of the inside screws of the watch as well. And for the outside of the watch, you are going to need a T6 screw here. This is how it basically looks. That's one of those fancy shapes here, just like the iPhone for the bottom screws. And for the inside screws, you are going to need a smaller, the T5. So you have the T6 and the T5. These are the only 2 tips you're going to need. So from here with the T6, you want to remove all 5 screws from the front of the plate. Now once you remove all 5 screws here, you want to get your plastic spudger here on the thin side. You want to slip it on top here, but it's already going to be loose. As you can see that, it's already loose. So you don't need much prying at all. And there's going to be a cable attached to the screen all the way to the motherboard. As you can see here, the orange cable here, the flex cable, that's what you want to remove. But before that, there's a green tape that's attached to the connection of the table. You want to remove that green tape. Let me get underneath the tape. As you can see that it's peeling off very slowly. And just like that, you remove the tape. Now once you remove the tape here, you want to get your plastic spudger and you want to disconnect the actual screen. You want to go underneath here. You want to just pull up just like that, and it pops off. And there's another cable that's connected to the screen as well. You want to connect it just like that. So first cable can disconnect and second cable disconnect here, and from there you can remove the screen just like this. Now this piece here that's rattling around, it ejected from the top, but this, as you can see here, and these 2 slots here and here connect right here. As you can see, that connects one right here and the other one over here. You want to keep this here, set it at the side. Now with your spudger, all you have to do is remove this connection right over here, which is the vibrator. So you want to get underneath it, and you want to start by pulling up just like that, and it removes, as you can see that. Now once you disconnected the vibrator, there's 2 screws, one here and one over here. These are the T5 screws. That's what you want to unscrew from the motherboard. And as soon as you remove the screw here, the last screw, as you can see, the motherboard is ready to be removed from the housing. I'm trying to pry it off from here, but all you have to do is just wiggle it like this, so that the motherboard will start to fall off, just like that. As you can see that, it's already on top. Now from here, you get your spudger and you start to slip it inside the top here, and removes just like this. As you can see that's how you remove the motherboard from the housing. Now the housing, just put this at the side. You have the motherboard itself, and on the back of this motherboard, you're gonna have the battery. Before you remove the battery, you wanna make sure to disconnect the connection. Now to disconnect the battery, all you have to do is just pry up with your plastic spudger, just like that. And as you can see that, as you get underneath it, it disconnects upwards. It's like this. Now, this cable is awfully short compared to the battery cable that I got online. So I'm gonna have to find a way that I could fold this cable so that it won't get in the way. There is gonna be adhesive at the bottom of this battery. You want to make sure to remove it carefully. And you see this black cover at the bottom? This is the adhesive. As you can see, it's kind of sticky when I press my tool against it. So you don't want to get on top of it and underneath the battery, just like that, to actually remove it more easily. So let's try to do that without breaking it off. Let's get underneath it here. Trying to go around of the battery. When I'm trying to pry the battery with my fingertips, as you can see that it's removing the bottom of the battery. Maybe it's only the battery itself. Nah, this is the motherboard of the battery here. I had to disconnect it just like this. Let's put this at the side. Now this part is sticky. I think this is the cooling for the actual motherboard. This part is not sticky at all, so I would assume this has to be attached to the motherboard, because this part, because this part right here is sticky. So I would assume the new battery would just go on top of this sticky stuff here. It's not really sticky, but it's sticky enough to attach a small battery, and obviously I don't want to keep on touching it because the adhesive is not going to stick through. So once you remove the battery, you're going to have this tape right here. Just leave it on there. Now from here, you get the connection of the new battery here. And you see these 2 slits on the battery connection? Those got to connect with these 2 slits, with these 2 connectors at the bottom. So you want to turn it around just like this. You want to make sure both of those slits connect together. Just like that. Now once it's connected, maybe it's best to lay this battery like this. Just twist it on to make sure that the cables are right next to the battery. Just like that. Now when you're installing the battery on the actual motherboard, one thing you want to make sure is that you see these edges right here. You see these edges right here, you want to make sure that the battery is not sticking out, because if it is, it's going to get in the way. Same exact with the side edge right here. You want to make sure the battery is not sticking out. And the top, you want to make sure that the connection here is not blocked off by the battery. As you can see that the battery is not sticking out. I did use the side of my nail to try to flatten the corners, which you can. As you can see that it kind of flattens out the corners so that it won't be sticking out. Okay, now from here you want to get your watch, and you see the 3 buttons on the motherboard. It connects to this side. This is the watch when it's up front. As you can see, the red selective button is on the top, and you see these 3 buttons on the motherboard. You want to connect them to this side. So I would start from the bottom. Let's see if this motherboard goes in correctly. It does go in correctly, but the white cover is blocking off the pin, the plastic pin for this right here. For this piece, it is blocking it. So let me try to remove it again. The battery cable is getting in the way with this part of the watch. It's going on top of this, and it's not supposed to go on top of this. It's supposed to go underneath it right here. So this battery cable is in the way. So what you want to do is just tuck it inside the battery. Yeah, you want to tuck it inside the battery just like this. Same with the white paper here, because you want these 2 slots to be fully open so that the plastic pins will be able to enter inside here. Here we go, just like this. I'm holding it from the top. Then from the bottom, you want to slip it inside here. And just like this. As you can see that, there is no cables on top of this. The 2 cables are tucked inside. So these 2 plastic pins are free. And as you can see that, the vibration connection is free as well. It's not tucked inside the motherboard. Yeah, once you have everything good, tucked in, then you can start by putting in and screwing the 2 screws from the motherboard. Alright, now from here you want to make sure that the motherboard is not wobbly. It's pretty much flat against the housing. And then you want to start screwing in the other side. Then screw in the other side here as well. So as you can see, the top of the vibrator connection aligned it with the top of the other connection. Okay, now this top piece goes on top of here, so make sure that the 2 slots connect with the 2 plastic pins. Just like that. And it just slips inside there. There's no adhesive or anything like that. The screen for the Garmin watch, it is kind of dirty from the waterproof O-ring here. It is kind of dirty, as you can see that. You want to get yourself some alcohol and some cotton swabs. You want to remove any residue that's on top of this, because you want this to be 100% clean before you install it back to the rubber O-ring. Now from here, you want to get the front of the screen. As you can see here, the Garmin logo is at the bottom. You would want to connect the screen cable first, and then the second smaller cable second, because the first cable, the screen's cable here, it's much longer, so it'll be much easier to connect the bottom one. I got the cable with my point finger. Just like that. Make sure you press it on just to make sure it's flat. Then you start on the other side with the smaller cable. With the smaller bottom cable, it's easier to hold it like this and with your point finger you want to connect it with the bottom. And eventually, if you do this up close, you connect both of the cables easily. So I can't do this on the camera because it's too far away from my face. So let me put this closer to my face so that I could connect it easier. And once you connect the smaller cable at the bottom, you would hear a click sound. And once you hear that click sound, that means the bottom keyboard's connected. Now from here, you could install the green tape back again. People have done this repair before, and they didn't have to put the green tape back again. That the green cable didn't disconnect on them when it was inside the watch. So leave it as you will. If you want to connect it, you can, but this tape is already used up. It's not going to be as sticky anymore, so it doesn't really matter. Now once you have everything connected, just put the screen back. And as you can see here, you want to make sure there's no gaps between the screen and the housing of the watch. Everything is 100% closed. There's no gaps here. Now let me start by screwing in the watch face. You want to unscrewing each side horizontally. You want to screw one screw at a time, but don't screw it in all the way so that all sides of this watch face is installed evenly. So you want to start from the opposite side. When you're screwing the screw, it should screw in very smoothly and not tight. Once the screws are screwed in but not tight, you have your thumb in the middle of the screen so you can keep the screen steady. Then you want to start by fully tightening them up crossways the same exact way you screwed all of them in at the beginning. So let's screw this thing tighter. Pretty tight. Tight. Now if you look around the watch, you should not see any type of gaps. You should not see the rubber waterproof ring sticking out or anything like that. It basically looks like it's from the factory. Now from here, you want to turn on the watch and see if it actually works. If not, I might have to charge it. So let's turn it on. Yep, it has some charge in the battery. So, like always, when you buy a brand new battery and you install it on an iPhone, on a watch, whatever it is, you want to make sure to fully charge it to 100%. This way the battery's health would be 100% once you start using it. I'm going to start using the watch and see if the watch turns off automatically like it did with me a couple of weeks ago. So let's see what happens here. Now the old battery is off. So hopefully this is the reason why the watch kept on turning off, and why when I charge it to 100% it drains all the way to 70 or 50% within a couple of days, which is not supposed to happen because that usually takes weeks to go to 50% and not days. So in about a month or two, I'm gonna either do a video update, or two, I'm gonna pin a comment below and I'll let you guys know if this solution actually worked or not. So guys, hopefully this video fixed your problem like it did with me. And if it did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.